Welcome to Covenant of Justice. I'm attorney Isaiah Jerez, and every other week we sit down with remarkable individuals of Southern Nevada who make this such a wonderful place to live. Together, we explore a wide range of topics that matter to the people of Las Vegas and beyond, offering a glimpse behind the glamour of the Strip to showcase the real stories, experiences, and voices that shape our community. Here today with Stephen Clifford. He is an academic coach at UNLV for the CEAO college programs. Excited to have him here today. Thanks for coming in, Stephen.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so before talking about exactly what you do with students, I want to talk a little bit about your history, because I think your history speaks a lot about the reason why you're doing what you're doing today.
Most definitely.
And growing up, you dealt with a huge speech issue, which is apraxia, right?
Yes. The best way to describe it was when I was trying to talk or communicate, it sounded very gibberish. At times, it was very difficult, especially like in the classroom setting, because when I'm amongst my peers and also the teacher, they could never understood me. So a fun fact was during that period of time, the 90s, the No Child Left Behind Act, was moving up. I didn't pass elementary. They just kept moving me up because like no one could deal with me or understood me. So through that experience with apraxia, I was in speech therapy from elementary all the way up to like high school, freshman year.
And talking about they were just kind of pushing you along, making sure you kept moving around, but your academics weren't holding up.
Yeah.
And as far as socially, like how did that deal with, right? You're not really able to communicate in class. And
At that time, it was very, I don't know if you want to call it antisocial, but it made me socially awkward. Really didn't have a good friend group. So I felt very isolated from my peers because there was a sense of not feeling a belongingness, if that's the right word to use. So I think during that time, I think I just leaned on my family at that time that supported me.
that's good that you had the family there, because around that time, like teenage boys, they don't understand. They got so much testosterone going on. Their hormones are all over the place. And
Yeah.
it's hard for them to understand the struggles that someone goes through, for
Yes.
sure. So was there a breakout point for you where you were eventually kind of like figured out or had the confidence, like, okay, I can do this?
I want to say that it started in seventh grade. I didn't have no one that pushed me. It was more like myself did not want to feel like I was dumb and I didn't want to feel insecure. So it was a little bit of a push of trying to get the grades I wanted and to fight for my education and my academia. And I feel like the best thing that really helped me was eighth grade. So that's when I had one specific person, my teacher back home in Akron, Ohio, Jay Wise. Mr. Wise means the world to me. I remember coming to him in like an emotional state where I remember like crying because I was upset with my grades. And I asked him, Mr. Wise, how do I get my grades to where I wanted them to be? And he said, hey, Stephen, if you come to tutoring morning, afternoon, or after school, I got you. You just got to show me that you want it. From that day on, I remember just going to him constantly, getting help. And at that point, I was like, I want to be like Mr. Wise. I want to be a teacher. So that was a major influence that I had. I feel like when I went to Copley Fairlawn Middle School back home, um, it was a big change. I think I noticed things that I didn't have when I was in sixth and seventh grade. So not having friends to now making friends. My grades going from C's to D's and improving to like C's and B's. So it was like a progression. And
Yeah, that's pretty amazing though. But it kind of was born with inside you. You got the confidence to reach out to someone, and then they kind of helped you, guide
yes,
you, and that's kind of what you do today as well. Like as in your coaching work, right? Is you're out there
yes,
to help the students.
yes. So I work for Trio SSS within the college programs. And Trio is helping first gen students navigate college and get academic support. From the experiences I went through, I know I'm resilient from what I went through. It taught me that, oh, I can do anything I put my mind to as long as I believe in myself. I feel like for first gen students, our worst enemy is ourselves, and we're always in our heads. And I feel that like I can connect with trio students because my experience has been trio. I was in trio at Nevada State University, and Nevada State University was everything to me. When they talk about like schools say family oriented, at
Mm.
that time, 2016 to 2019, Nevada State was very family oriented. Um, the friends I still have today are from the trio programs, and I'm still connected with the university, with the instructors, advisors, directors, um, and I was in the Nevada State Student Alliance, which is like student government, and that really helped me grow as a leader and work with politicians to um, volunteering. Um, I became the chair of programming, which is like over all the events at the campus. So, setting up our what we call Scorpions Calling, which is the equivalent for UNLV's Rebel Preview. So it's like the big event for the first year of of the academic school year, and that was stressful, but I did it, and I think becoming the chair allowed like made me realize, oh, I could do anything. It's just about time management.
Mm.
It's about being, knowing having faith in yourself that you can guide and instruct people what to do. And I have to say, my team at NSSA at that time was amazing. And my mentor to this day, that lives in North Carolina, Philip Lamont, he was everything to me. So he taught me like, this is how you do a budget. This is how you figure out this. How you figure out that. So if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I would be.
Yeah, and working, like going through that, understanding what's available for students, right?
Yeah,
And helping them understand that, of course, like time management, the resources. But I want to ask something because there is a lot of
yeah,
rhetoric right now about higher education. What is the value of higher education? Because there are so many people that are
yeah,
graduating with tens of thousands of dollars of debt, no job prospects, right? And
exactly.
so as a first generation student coming into school with that kind of rhetoric,
Right.
how are you helping them guide that, saying, okay, look, you've
So,
got to do something specific so that you have something marketable?
and I think what you just said is a great question. Our programs that are specifically made for first gen students, think about it. When you're a first gen student, your parents never experienced college. They don't know financial literacy. They don't understand certain things. So when our students are needing help, like with the guidance that you said, like understanding how things work and how finances are a big concern, I have to say one of the biggest issues is financial um, stability in college. Students don't know how to do their FAFSA. They need assistance with their FAFSA. Um, I feel like as a coordinator and our other coordinators, shout out to Monisha Hobbs and Elgin Lofton, who are also my coworkers in Trio SSS. Um, they really, our whole point is to make sure that they graduate. So the UNLV's graduation rate for students, if I'm not mistaken, is like 41% or 49%, I forgot. But the students a part of our program is 71%. That obviously means we're doing something correct. So the services that we provide for our students, FAFSA assistance, scholarships within our program, and as coordinators, we help them find scholarships outside our program. We also help with life design. So life design component is working with career services. So if students need help building their resume, their CV letter, um, all these tools really helps them and guide them. And our program teaches them when they're in their senior year is to do specific um, things to make sure that they prep when they get out into the real world, right? So helping them finding their niche if they're a social worker, right? So when
Mm-hmm.
they meet with me, I'm always looking at their academic progress and I'm looking at their goals, their academic goals. So what do you want to be in life? And they'd be like, oh, I want to work with children. Okay, let's think about school of social work. Let's think about being a social worker in a school. So there's many different types of things you can do. It's like, okay, let me hear your goal plans, what obstacles you think you may face, um, what due dates are these aligned? Are you thinking about grad school? So we're very hands-on. I think we're more hands-on than probably their advisors. Um, I have like 140 student caseload. So it's like making sure that I'm providing the best service I can, because I feel like as a social worker as well that I live by those core values that we have in social work, and one of them is service, making sure that they have the best opportunity to graduate and that they have a game plan. And sometimes, like after they graduate, we help them within a few months after they graduate to make sure everything lines up. That make sure that they're going to grad school, they're finding job opportunities, and I think it's just a great program that we have to reinsure that.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what you started with, the financial literacy, right? Like,
Yeah,
okay, here's how much school is going to cost. Let's look for other avenues than just the student loans.
exactly.
Whether or not it's scholarship, whether or not it's just book opportunities, right? Opportunities to get some
And
books.
and we help with that. We
Yeah.
provide 2 free textbooks to our students each semester, and it helps relieve the stress of finances, because I think that's what's always on the student minds is how are we
Hmm.
supposed to pay for these textbooks. You know how much textbooks can be. They can
Yeah.
range from $100 to $500, especially
Mm.
for those prerequisite classes, and it can cause a lot of like, okay, I don't know how to figure this out. So I think the biggest thing is helping the students not worry about the finance too much. We help with like grant and aid as well, which is like if you're facing a financial crisis, here's a solution and we can help. So we help students who are facing homelessness, the foster system. We're doing everything that we can to make sure that our students feel comfortable. And I think the most beautiful part is you have TRIO alumni that are in positions that I am in, like me being a TRIO alumni. Our director, Cal Estebar, he's a TRIO alumni. So like we understand what the students are going through because we were once in their shoes.
Yeah, and then helping with that financial literacy, giving them a perspective. Okay, here's how long it's going to take to get to where you're at,
Yes.
right? And being there along with them along the way, because, like you said, like you want to see them graduate, you want to see them get to the end.
Yes. And that's the like one of the key things, the academic progress. So like I feel that me as a coordinator, we kind of work hands in hand with the advisors. So like for me, I see all the liberal arts students, I see the political science students, secondary education students. And the cool thing about that is as coordinators, I see the students that fit my background. So I see the social workers, the psychology majors. Monisha Hobbs, she sees the hospitality students. She sees the STEM students, and the same for Elgin Lofton. He sees the criminal justice students. He sees the nursing major students and everything like that. And they're getting the best help because it's like, oh, we was in your shoes, right? And when you're going through something like that, like, oh, I don't know what the game plan is when I expect to graduate. I think the dream is to graduate in 4 years, but it's not
Yeah.
realistic. Um,
Mm.
we always be real with our students. Like, if you want to be 4 years, you're probably going to have to take more than 4 courses, right? You're probably going to have to take classes in the summer. Um, and then we work with their advisors. Like, if the students is like looking at their plan of study, like, I don't know what class to take. It's like, make sure you talk with your advisor. I could give my point of view because I took some of these classes. Like, oh, take human behavior in a social environment. Oh, take personality psychology. So like, and I'd be like, well, what do you feel you need to work on as wanting to be a social worker or a psychology major, right? So it's like game planning with
Mhm.
them, and sometimes that's what first gen students need, right? They need someone to be there in the system and help them.
Yeah, I realize it's possible maybe the timeline needs to be dragged out a little bit, but
Yeah.
on top of that, and just going back to financial literacy, like if they're able to work at the same time,
Yeah.
right, it's going to be more difficult. Their time's going to be limited,
Yes.
but they're going to leave with much less debt, right?
Right. And I've worked steady. I have done that. So
Yeah.
I've been doing it since undergrad. I work for
Uh,
CTLE, Center Teaching Learning Excellence at Nevada State. Then Nevada Student Alliance was like a student worker job. That was very helpful. And then when I went to grad school, I worked for the education department, special education. So creating books for students with autism. And then from that, my next GA was the Center for Academic Enrichment Outreach, which is where I work at now for the college programs. And I didn't even know what it was at first. I had to do my research, and before I applied, I was like, oh, wait, this is TRIO. And I was like, I'm familiar with TRIO. I was like, they helped me a lot. I was like, let me see if I could get this GA. And I applied, had my interview, went really well, and they got me as a support specialist. Yeah. And that was an amazing feeling. It's like, oh, wow, I'm working with the people that were in my shoes. And I guess I did just a stellar job. They were like, Steven, do you want to work for us? And my practicum was with Upward Bound, so I had Upward Bound, and I had the college programs as a GA. So it was like I was getting the best of working with high school students and then working with college students. And the best part was seeing my students now, I'm watching them grow. Like from high school. I knew them from high school, and now they're college students. And most of them are juniors now. I'm like, my God, they have grown so much. And seeing the amazing work that they do, and seeing that, like, you know, their growth and them becoming engineers, social workers, psychology majors. I feel like, and if you ask my office, I think I meet with like 9 students per day since the beginning of the semester.
You're working hard.
I'm working hard. And everyone's taking notice. I know the front desk be like, Steven, you see so many students. And I was like, I don't know. I'm passionate about it. I want to help. And it lets me know that I'm doing a good job. And at the same time, I know I have to take care of myself, right? Because, you know, sometimes you're taking on different personalities. So it's just like social work. Like when you're a clinician and when you're taking on clients, sometimes you can take that stuff home, right? So as a social worker, I learned to self-care, you know, do the things that I love to do, and make sure I get enough rest, drink enough water, and not be too stressed. And I feel like I've been managing really well this semester. Like I feel good. I feel energized. This is homecoming week at UNLV. So tonight we have our cart decoration. So I'll be helping out with that later today. So it's very exciting.
Yeah. But, you know, talking about not taking it home and being passionate, I think if you're passionate about it, it's kind of hard to kind of separate the personal from the professional, because you're falling in love with these kids, right? You're so excited about to see their growth, and you're a part of it, right? And that's, to me, that seems like where the passion comes is just really from caring about these children. And I don't know how you can separate that from your personal life.
Social work, grad school, master's in social work. They teach you how to, it really teaches you how to separate your personal life and your life with your, you know, as being a social worker or your job in general. So I remember one of my instructors taught me, keep little Steven in the back of your head. So if it's negative thoughts, keep them in the back of your head. If you're about to cry, try to hold it. Wait till the session ends, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of students do a lot of stuff. You don't understand. First-gen students, like my students, they deal with a lot of stress. It's a lot of stuff that's going on at home. No one takes that into account. And sometimes it affects their academics, right? So, like, sometimes I feel like I'm overdoing, but then I have to pull it back. Because one of the key things as a social worker is also creating those boundaries, right? With your students. So, like, one of my rules with my students is text me anytime, but do not call me after 5.
Oh,
right?
Yes. You got to set that boundary, right?
I have to set those clear boundaries. And I feel like it's really weird. I was looking at my caseload and looking at, like I told you, I have like 140 students, right? And I was like, I know all my students. Like, I don't know how I know them all, but I know what ticks them off. I know their email to a certain extent. It's just certain things I don't remember, but it's like I know who they are as a person. I had one student yesterday say, Mr. Steven, you know me pretty well. And I was like, that's weird, but I don't know how I'm doing that. I think I have bad memory, but I think it's just the passion of working with the students.
Yeah, and it's got to be, right? It's got to be that you just internalize it. And again, like you can have a healthy relationship with them at work and then keeping it separate. But something else that you brought up a little bit ago that kind of is inspiring and helpful to them is, hey, when you're done, I'm still going to be on you, right? I'm still going to make sure
Right.
you go out and get a job. And here's a story about my uncle that my dad tells. So my uncle came from Colombia, didn't know any English. He was the first one to graduate from college, and got an engineering degree.
Yeah.
He was working at a store, and after he graduated, he kept working at the store. And he needed a push. He needed someone to say, hey, you've got this degree, you're smart, you can go out and do it. And he went out and had a successful career as a civil engineer. But he just needed that push.
And I went through something very similar. Before I went to Nevada State, I was working at McDonald's. And I worked there for like 2 or 3 years. And I finished at CSN with my music and business technology degree. And I had some of my psychology classes done. That push that made me go to Nevada State 2 or 3 years later was my mom. She was like, McDonald's is not going to last forever. Like your future is more important. And I was like, I got to get back to school. So also being an adult learner, a non-traditional student. So when I went to Nevada State, I was like 26. And it's like, oh my God, I forgot all the math. I got to catch up with, science and biology. And I was like, this is going to be a struggle. And I think, like I said, how Nevada State was so important to me, I think who I surrounded myself with. And like Trio, I think that was a major push. And I didn't even utilize all the resources. That's the crazy part. But the people around me, my friends, my advisor, my coordinator at that school, the tutoring sessions, I remember having dreadful moments for statistical methods with my friends. And we were like, how are we going to get through this? One of my friends was doing very well, but didn't know how he was getting the grades he was getting. One of my friends was like doing okay. And then my other friend, me and him were like in the same place, like, how are we going to get through this? But it's like when you surround yourself with a good community of friends, and you all have a shared experience. You're all first gen, right? You're all trying to figure everything out, and it really helped me.
Yeah, and that's Trio, right? Not only looking at, hey, here's our academics, we're going to focus on our financials, and then let's look at where we're going, and Trio's there to help. So
yes.
Just one last question. So how do people get involved in Trio? Where do they go to? Where do they meet you?
So we're located like literally right behind Thomas and Mack. We are at building SSC, building A, 3rd floor, right above financial aid and scholarships. So it's kind of helpful. So if students be like, I'm having issues with my financial aid or FAFSA, go right downstairs. They can help you. You can go to our website, which is ceo.com, UNLV, I'm sorry, can't remember the specific website name, or reach out to me. My email is stephen.clifford@unlv.edu, and I can pass along the application or the interest form. We're a great community. I think the big thing that we're building is a place of belongingness, a place where students can find a community. I think that's something that our whole program preaches, from NAPZ, which is also part of our college programs, to McNair, which is also highly important for students who are interested in doctoral degree and research opportunities. And I feel like we're like we're family oriented. I feel like getting along with my coordinators like Mo and Elgin, Alexandra, Narosh, Miss Joanne, who's our case manager, our director, Kyle, and we share office with UB at We're Bound, and it's a very good team. And I love when our students come in. We have a computer center, we have a self-care station, we have a PlayStation inside our office. We try to make sure we relieve stress, provide students with snacks, and we have study breakers going on because midterms is next week. And it's basically study breakers is activities to relieve stress before midterms. So you don't overthink things, so you won't be overwhelmed, kind of like smooth sail. And so you don't, you have a good time on midterms and not get the grades you want.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming, Stephen.
Thank you.